Hello, everybody. Welcome to the VC Jedi Archives.
Hello.
Glad you could join us today, guys.
Hey, peeps.
Today we're going to review the Star Wars High Republic IDW Adventures Issue 3. It's a good one. They've all been really good so far. How's everyone doing?
Good, good. How about you, John?
Good.
Yeah, all good. All good. Gearing up for another week.
So, as usual, we like to start with the League of Comic Geeks. Great website. And let me just pull that up to share. We'll look at the cover variants. Here we go. So this is this week's cover that we're reviewing. And what do you guys think about this?
Pretty cool. It's probably the best shot we've had so far of Marchion's helmet. So it's pretty cool looking.
And this is a different, it's a different looking helmet too.
I just, yeah, from reading the books, I always imagine it more kind of maybe having a few, maybe a spike or two coming out, kind of more angular, definitely.
More like this?
Obviously not angular at all. This is a dome.
Is that too spiky?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know this is a little bit too round. I didn't imagine it like this. It reminds me of Mysterio.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mr. Freeze.
Yeah. But we've got an old familiar face there, Master Yoda. Nice and young. And I think the style is different of the artwork on this one, right?
Yeah, I really like it. I think it's bright and it's vibrant. It's really colourful.
Mm-hmm.
I love the colour palette on it as well.
Mm-hmm. It's nice.
I know it really changes in a few issues, like totally different, but it is different this issue.
And so this is the main cover, and oh, there's only one other cover.
Wow.
You know, that's kind of dumb because Marvel was going crazy with the variants.
Yes. We had like 18, 20 different variants, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
6, 7 an issue. Chill out, guys. What are your margins looking rough this quarter?
They
What's
do the
going on?
same art and then they do it black and white and then they do it virgin. And then
Right, right.
Yeah.
So here we just have the two. This is the second one. And this is nice because it's completely different characters than the other cover.
Yeah.
Mm.
And this one, look at like in the first one, it looked like it was before, and this is like an after shot. Everything's in ruins.
Yeah, that definitely looks more like a helmet now instead of like his actual skull.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, and oh, I'm not going to do that.
Oh,
That was my place.
password.
I hadn't signed in. So, because I'm like, why didn't I rate it? I did rate it, but if I sign in, it's going to take me away from this page and it'll take me forever to find it. So, no.
Why don't you give the people your password, Mike?
Nope.
It doesn't show you the characters unless you're signed in.
No, it does. It does.
Just under the
So
ad.
it has little the little background. So Starlight, in the glory days of the Republic, the Jedi stand as guardians of galactic peace until a powerful new adversary called the Nihil arrives. Zine accompanies the Jedi to Starlight Beacon, a glowing symbol of the Jedi and Republic, where she learns what it means to be a Padawan. Meanwhile, Crix and the Nihil fight their way through a Republic blockade to safety, and Crix begins to wonder who this strange man who helped them really is. And that strange man is, of course,
Marchion.
Marchion, no friend. Writer Daniel Jose Older, best-selling author of Star Wars Last Shot. Did you guys read that one? I liked it.
I haven't heard of it.
Last Shot, it's the one Han Solo.
Yeah.
Oh.
I won't go into it, but I wasn't a massive fan. I just didn't. It made me sad. It made me sad. The way that Han and Leia's relationship was written out made me really sad.
So is this it's after Return of the Jedi, but around there?
Yeah, it's before The Force Awakens. Ben's just been born. And it just, I don't know, there was just something about Leia was portrayed as quite a nagging wife, quite moany and whingy, and Han was like this grumpy old git of a guy who just wanted to do this one last thing constantly. And it's just, I don't know, it just got me down a lot, I think.
So in other words, very realistic. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it was just a little bit too. Yeah, it got me really down because I thought, that is not how I saw either Leia or Han from they didn't resonate with me.
Yeah,
I didn't,
and it wasn't.
You know how like Claudia Gray writes Leia and she gets her. She really writes as if she was Carrie.
Yes, for sure.
I didn't have that same connection with the Leia in Last Shot or the Han in Last Shot, and I don't know whether that's the writing style or because of the subject of the novel and where they were in their relationship, but it just put me on a downer.
Yeah, no, but that's for sure. Claudia Gray, nobody writes Leia like she does. So I agree with you there. What were you gonna say, Rich?
I took it as like two people that had just spent so long in a galactic war that they didn't really know what to do after the war ended. Like Han was definitely restless, and sitting still is not his forte, clearly.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, but it also, I don't know. I didn't really think it was a great book. I'm pretty sure I didn't even finish it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's a valid point. They had something kind of to focus on was the war, and that's why the legends work so well. There's always something going on, so there always has something to kind of focus on. The canon, they had a 20-year gap and nothing. So
yeah, no, definitely there's look, I get where they were coming from with it, and I didn't have a problem with the topic of it. I just think that the two characters were so different to what I'm used to reading, seeing, etc., even other novels and stuff. You know, if I compare Bloodline, for example, and what the two characters were like in Bloodline versus Last Shot, it was like they were completely different characters. But anywho, digressing massively.
Yeah, no, that's true though. You're right. So with characters in this episode, we have Avar Kriss, of course, Estala Maru, Crix, Camerat. That kid is a rat. Quart,
yes.
Yoda.
Another kid we don't like,
Bibs.
right?
He has the one from that planet, right? At least that one gets eaten by the Drengir, so
yeah,
there's hope. Eye of the Nile, which is of course Marcion Rowe, Lula Talasola, I like her. Torben Buck, Buckets of Blood, Zine Morala, Cham Cham. I really like Cham Cham. He's cute.
I need merchandise of Cham Cham now.
Yes, me too. He's a cute
I need like a little plushie or something.
Little bat with sharp teeth, right?
Yeah.
Farzala Tarabal, PZ-13, a droid, and Tromek. Is this the first droid that we have as a character in the IDW?
In the IDW, I can't
possibly.
really recall the other High Republic, but I know the IDW.
Yeah.
There was a droid in the other High Republic, in the main High Republic, the guy that was a doctory.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So PZ-13. All right. So let's get into the issue. Do I have to stop share and reshare? Are we looking at issue number 3?
Yep, we're on issue 3.
Okay, good. So here's issue 3 with the main cover, and
get to log in.
Nope, I'm already logged in for this.
Okay.
So I think, shall we do guided view? So it says, a shocking revelation in Brelanac City. Force-sensitive Mikian Zine Morala has helped the Padawans of the Starhopper protect the citizens of Trimont 4 as they evacuate following the hyperspace disaster. But she is separated from her best friend, Crix Camerat, who, shocked by Zine's new powers, has chosen to leave the planet in the company of the Nile.
What I get from that is Zine's not her first name. It's her middle name. We always called her Zine, and her first name is Mikian. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. No, she is a Mikian. That's her species.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, force-sensitive Mikian. She's a Mikian.
Oh, so it's the name of every letter is capitalized. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, her name is Zine Morala. I like that these intros are a little more brief than in the Marvel series. So here we're on the Nile ship, and Crix is all bummed out because he remembers that his best friend is now
Yeah.
evil because she has the Force.
And he's a crybaby.
Yeah, he's a
He's
crybaby.
definitely pouting. He's trying to be brooding, but he's just pouting in the corner.
Yeah,
I
he's
think most people will recognize that face on the face of many preteens.
that's true.
I just haven't gotten my way and I'm sulking mood.
It's
Yeah.
little Luke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of its power converters. That's all he wanted.
Yeah. I was gonna go to Tashi Station.
He never made it to Tashi either, man.
No, he didn't. And so here at the end of last issue, Yoda had left a communicator with him in case he wanted to communicate with his best friend, former best friend. So she's I think that's a
Yoda was
recorded
little
message, or is she
It's got a
transmitting live?
tracker in it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And yeah, Crix doesn't know that. He thinks he's just communicating, but
Right. So is this a live transmission or is it a recording? I don't remember.
I
Recording.
think it's a recording because she says she doesn't even know if it's going to reach him at first.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought maybe she was saying that because she was sending it and she didn't know if he was receiving it. But yeah, probably recording. And she wants to talk to him, but he's like not. He's not sure. So she's. Oh no! I think she's communicating live because she sees his.
I don't know. It could be a message they sent back and forth. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh no! He's just talking into nothing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a recording. So probably he sent the recording back. And then
Cham Cham's sitting there still digesting the Nihil omelet yet.
his little tummy, he's so cute, sleepy-eyed. So sometimes she looks older and sometimes she looks younger, right?
Yeah.
Because here she looks very young. So I don't like guided view. It's too hard to see. This is better.
Yeah. I got lost that last image.
Yeah, I'm like, what is that? It's this. So here she
Background.
is. She's a little sad because she misses her best friend. She can't believe that she's hurt, right? And then, but here we see all the other little younglings training on Starlight Beacon.
Yeah, she looks like she's 10 or 11 here. She looks really young here.
Mm-hmm, she does. And it's nice to see all these little kids. And then buckets of blood is there. Looks like he's training them. Luke style.
Yeah, because she's not allowed to train, remember? So she's really just watching them train. Kind of.
Right.
And that's got to be a bit of a kick in the teeth, right? So you finally found your people, people that Force users and they accept you for who you are and all the rest of it. And they're like, yeah, but we can't train you because you're not allowed to be a Jedi.
You can stay with us
old
and
already.
you can watch. You just can't
You
train.
can sit and watch everyone become really cool Jedi, but you are going to have to find a different path. I mean, why you
Yeah.
couldn't just take her on and try? I know that you're supposed to start them like really young. However,
Well,
they
they
could
said
have
if-
done something. They could have
with-
helped her somehow.
Well, if they're
You would
really
think it-
young, they can become younglings. If they're older, they can become Padawans. So
Yeah.
she should have become someone's Padawan, but I guess it is a rough time for someone to take on someone. But
Well, remember, Padawans are not until they're in their teens or late teens or 20s. Because when
Well,
Ahsoka
Anakin.
was,
I was just thinking of this Anakin story. He was too young to start as a youngling, so he just took him on as a Padawan. So I was thinking somebody should do
Oh,
the
you're
same thing
right.
with her.
you're right, he was taking on this Padawan, right?
You would think by now they'd have some kind of program set up for older people that were force sensitive, There's
Yeah.
something in place.
Mm-hmm. So Zine is missing her home. She saw it destroyed. She's missing her friends. She's feeling alone. So she's down. She's crying. And then, of course, her friend comes in that she works side by side with on the planet. And she's trying to find out, hey, what's going on? Why are you sad? And then she brings in all the other Jedis to try to cheer her up. Meanwhile, back on, yeah.
I was a little stunned that Yoda walked in with a plate full of pastries.
Biscuits.
I thought it was butter cubes.
I just thought he said pastries. Thinking there, it's like, okay, Yoda, that's what you're on. Do you bake? Can I see the Yoda apron?
Well, isn't Farzala the one who bakes? I think it's Farzala, right?
I have no idea.
Baker. Yeah. Yeah,
Is
those
that,
cookies.
is that a Jedi Force talent?
That must be his force talent. And then on the Nihil base ship, the Gaze Electric, here we see Crix.
Those
And
are actually on the Gaze Electric right now.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We never really seen a picture of it yet. That's the best they got. Is that the book's supposed to be like a castle almost, right?
I mean, when you get through this issue, I got to say, I noticed how just absolutely massive this ship must be without giving away the next couple pages. But some of the things they got going on in there, it's like, man, that's a big ship.
yeah, it's a big ship. Here it looks like a lizard head. With a little paw coming out.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, the books. I always thought it was like a giant floating castle, kind of.
So here we have, he doesn't really want Crix on board. He just allowed it because he wants this guy, Elder Tromac, because he wants him to help him get something. So very
That
ominous.
dude's an idiot too.
What was that, Rick?
Interesting flip, because you've got, on the one hand, you've got Zine being welcomed with open arms and, why don't you consider staying here and all the rest of it. And you've got Crix, who's kind of chosen his own destiny and his own path by disappearing off with an Nihil, who's now having a very different reality where it's, we don't actually want you around, but let's see how we can manipulate you and make you feel like you've really been abandoned and betrayed by your friends. Some real mind control, some kind of real kind of mental meddling kind of type thing to make him feel completely abandoned so that he will absolutely rely on the Nihil. And it makes you wonder how many other people the Nihil have done that to when they've seen somebody that they want or thinks that they might help, bring them on, make them feel betrayed by everyone else and convince them to stay with them. It's kind of really manipulative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And all the while, it's like, well, don't try not to get yourself killed.
Yeah, you're on your own on that
be
bit.
useful,
Yeah.
productive.
Don't get yourself
Might
killed.
beat you up a little bit.
And if you're not productive, we'll just shoot you off the airport. And then,
Right.
Yeah.
so
Something that's really interesting happening here is Crix is, I think, manipulating Tromac. That's the guy's name, the elder.
Mhm,
Yeah.
yep,
mhm.
Tromac
And
Elder.
manipulating him to get the information because he knows that's why they're there, is because Marshawn needs the location of this object or item.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason why they're there. So Crix right here, if you pay attention, he's like, I believe he kind of manipulates him to get the information from him.
That dude's an idiot too, man. This Elder Trollman. Like,
I know.
first off, you get in bed with the Nile, and then you're trusting crazy secrets with this little kid.
Yeah.
You
We
goofball.
don't tolerate fools in the archives, do we?
No.
We hate him. We hate him.
And then they put them into this arena because they have to
Rink.
prove themselves.
Yeah, those are some
I mean,
mean
seriously,
looking
that is the
creatures.
ugliest bug thing I've ever seen. Like, from a creature perspective, that is hideous.
It is very ugly.
This on the Gaze Electric?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This is
Oh,
all
Big enough to fit a
inside the
whole
ship.
arena. Like, that is an enormous ship.
That's insane. That is an ugly bug, though.
It is ugly. You know what? Because it has no fur, no feathers. It has nothing. It's just
No, it
ugly.
looks like an oversized giant tick, a flea. Looks like
Yeah.
a flea.
It looks like a hairless cat.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Excuse me.
Gesundheit.
You know those amoeba things when they like zoom in on them with like extra special lenses, and it's all
Yes,
teeth and
gross.
body and nothing else.
A tardigen.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Cool.
So this scene gave me the vibes of like episode 1, right? When they with the race,
Yeah.
big arena, and then but of course they were just racing. And then we flip back to Starlight Beacon.
And they're all having a blast.
It's all beautiful here, clean and pretty and shiny, and they're all playing. Look at all these kids; they're so adorable. I love younglings; they're so cute.
Oh, there's Bib.
Where?
The bottom of the main one, Bip or Bimp. What's his name? They always say he's in the issue, but he never has any lines or anything.
yes,
Yeah.
he doesn't have any lines. There he is at the bottom. Ooh. So then they're trying to convince her what she should do. What is Xena's like, well, what does she really want to do? And she's thinking about it, and they're like, well, ask her friends too. And all these friendly faces. It is a big contrast from poor Crix. I do feel sorry for Crix, even though he's a knucklehead.
Yeah, she's got all of these besties, and he's like trying to figure out who's gonna not kill him.
Yeah. And then we have these, I like the galactic files that are in these issues. They always have one page of
so cool.
nice background. So it explores, here's the younglings. Oh, it's talking about them. So younglings, Force sensitive children that are starting their journey. Padawans, who are still training in the ways of the Force as an apprentice to a Jedi Knight. We have knights, Jedi who have passed their trials and are devoted to the light side of the Force. And then we have masters, Jedi with superior skill and knowledge.
If you're reading these books and you don't, you're not familiar with that, it's cool that it's in there, but like, was it necessary? Is someone reading these that really has no idea of like the lineage of advancement for a Jedi Knight?
Yeah. Well, I think kids reading these might not.
Yeah, you know, this is a kids this is a kids comic, or geared to children, point. And this is, for me, this is like a hey kids, here's an introduction kind of type thing.
It's definitely simple enough, and I could see it geared towards young.
It's, it's definitely not there to teach anyone else how to suck eggs, that's for sure.
No. Not this one in particular, but some of them do. Like when they gave us the ships, the spider ship, and it was pretty cool. And the maps, I like the maps.
Yeah.
So here we're back on the Gaze Electric a little bit later. And okay, so one of you needs to ride the Bogaranth, and then Elder Tromac says he's gonna ride it because he's gonna sacrifice himself.
Yeah.
And he's like, Elder Tromac, you don't have to do that. He's like all shocked. I don't think he's manipulating him at this point yet. I still think he's got the potential to be nice. You know, he's unsure. Yeah. And here we have one of those characters that are like from the Cantina, right? The musicians.
Yeah.
The little elephant guy. Or the same species.
Drawing a blank on his name and species right now.
But he was a little elephant guy playing the piano, right? So they're gonna have to. So they're gonna tell him that he's gonna be on the seat, and then what is Crix gonna have to do? Oh, he's a slime runner. Come here, little guy. He's like, what? He explains that the one who's jousting, so Elder Tromac's gonna be jousting, which he might die, but then these creatures need a slime runner because the Bogaranths leave a trail of nasty slime everywhere.
That's gross.
It's gross.
They just get more and more gross the more they talk about these things.
Yeah.
It's like a big old snail, but a killer snail with teeth.
I kind of enjoyed, like, I guess you'd call this humor. Maybe it's just my sixth sense humor. Like, you better keep up. You're going to get eaten. Like this guy. And if you look at the bottom, the panel above the bottom right, this dude's about to get mauled by this thing.
Yeah, I think it's funny too. It is funny. I mean, not that he's going to get eaten, but I thought the Baby Yoda eating eggs was funny too. So
yeah. So it's a tough galaxy. What are you going to do? You know?
Yep. And then let the battles begin. Ooh, they're nasty. There's so many of them.
Yeah, this is a gross page.
I couldn't even make a lot of sense out of this. And then right away, he's like, stop the match. I was like, okay, well, I was over before I could even really visually compute what is going on here.
It's more like chicken instead of jousting, how they just kind of run into each other. There's a group behind you, they just smash into each other.
Yeah. It's like if you just stayed back, you'd probably survive.
That pool game with someone's on your shoulders, that chicken game, that's what this reminds me of.
They even have like jousting sticks or like poles, or I don't even know what you would call those.
Yeah, I don't see that at all. They just run into each other.
Yeah, because the little runners are dragging the slime, right? So Marchion stops the match, and then he discovers the holoprojector. with a direct connection to Starlight Beacon. There's a traitor, and Crix is like, oh crap, that's me. And meanwhile, we flip right back to Starlight Beacon.
It's just parties and fun.
Yes, what a contrast. And what is this big old nut he's holding up?
It is weird. It's like a giant walnut or a ball of yarn.
Yeah. Or it could be like a rubber band ball, right?
Oh God, yeah.
They don't explain it, do they? Huh? Just go right past it.
And then even when you look at Avar Chris, she looks like a youngling too in this panel, right?
Yeah, she looks. Yeah, they definitely style her to look younger.
And there he is again.
Yep.
Our character with no lines.
Yep.
Bip, is that his name? Bip.
Yeah.
So, and Yoda's here, and they're like, "What are we gonna do?" And then we go back over to the Gaze Electric.
Yeah.
Yep. And and little Crix is like, that holoprojector is his.
Instantly rats him out. I mean, it could have been
Instantly.
anyone in the whole place. There's thousands of people.
Yeah. And he's like, what? I know. He's like, are you sure, boy? He's like, yeah, I saw him using it, little rat. He could have put it on anybody else. He's awful. Yeah. Very well prepare him to be a snack for our booger rats. He's all, no. Bring the boy
I
to
knew
my
it was a
chamber.
mistake as soon as he told him like that secret information. And I was like, oh, he's going to betray him. And he didn't. Well, at least as of this issue, he hadn't given up that info yet. But you got to feel like that's coming.
Yeah.
Because he's definitely selling this dude up the river and making his bet with denial for better or worse.
Yeah.
Hopefully for worse.
I mean, and in his defense, he's just trying to find a way to survive because he doesn't want to get killed. So.
Yeah,
he's
well,
a
that's what
rat.
happens when you put yourself in knucklehead situations. You get to make knucklehead decisions.
Get a chance
then-
to escape
This
with
is part of the
Yoda.
problem, isn't it? He's made this bed for himself that he's now got to try and survive or, get by on.
Right.
I can't help but feel that even before all this dude was a crappy friend. Isn't it? He's just low breeding, man. Like, you're just a poor human being.
But it could be the effects of his socioeconomic status, and he's like an orphan, right? On that planet, he didn't have parents.
I don't know.
He had his friend. He had the community that seemed to be treating him okay.
Zine
But
came
I
out
don't know.
okay.
They're all, aren't they all? Wasn't there somewhere in this where Zine kind of explains a situation where they all have to kind of leave their families and become almost acolytes in this cult, so their parents aren't around.
Yeah.
So all the adults look after all the children, but there's no parent-child relationship. I read that somewhere. It might be.
Yeah, they said that in their I don't know, I guess community or society, that the parents aren't really beholden to the kids, and they kind of just dump them off and go about their lives. It's kind of what I got from.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And so here we have that little hollow projector. And Zine is explaining that because Yoda left it with Crix, and then he gave the other one to Zine so they can communicate. And she's like, yeah, I did. I responded. He responded. And she's just said that she misses him. And then Yoda tells her, well, you have to go save him. And she's all, what? And then we go back to the Gaze Electric, and he's in front of Martian. Now, Martian here looks really big and buff, which is not how I imagined him from the books.
Yeah.
I wondered if some of that was the suit, maybe, and just not actually him.
Maybe
that's true. That's
padding.
True. That image.
Yeah, because he did seem like, I don't know, from the books, especially compared to his captains, he kind of seemed like undersized and unassuming physically. I know he's tall and lanky, but I mean, I didn't imagine with that kind of muscle mass.
No.
It's
even
hard to.
If you listen to the audio books, even the way he speaks, he's very softly spoken. He's very. He's not like a you will do what I want you to do kind of type baddie. He's very softly spoken, and his intimidation is less about him being loud and vocal, but just kind of underlying carrying out his threats.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was also more, I would say, clever than like physically brutish.
Yeah.
You know, you don't see him use his brute strength. You see him shoot, you know, darts of poison at people out of his sleeve and things like that.
Yeah. Brains over brawn.
Right.
And very underhanded too.
Yeah, extremely. But that's what makes him a great villain.
Yeah. So he calls him in. He's like, "Come here, kid," and he knows that he's the owner of that hollow projector. And he confronts him and says, you blamed this on Elder Tromek, but I know it's yours. You concealed it. He's like, what? I know. And he's all impressive. He liked it. It's like, good. We like your kind of scum here. And then he reveals to him what they found inside the hollow projector, a transponder beacon.
Dun, dun, dun.
Mm.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
this isn't my Martian.
No.
But it is
not my Martian.
Yeah, it's not my Martian right now. So we'll see. Right now, it's almost like a lieutenant or something. But
and back on Starlight Beacon, they're like, okay, they're analyzing the attacks of what happened, and they want to go sneak up on them and capture them, surprise attack.
The kids are just playing, having fun.
Yeah, all smiles. And what's this little guy doing? Brokenhearted?
Biff is shooting him.
Oh, so yeah.
Playing dead.
Oh, he has lines.
Yeah.
Zoom, 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 zoom. Oh, I'm dead. And they're all laughing. Yay, he's dead. Yay, he killed him.
Which Jedi Master is that's standing over him? This blue one that you're pointing at.
This is
that's Farzolo. That's not a
Farzolo.
master. That's one of the younglings or Padawans.
He's a Padawan.
It better be, because look at what he says. Like, that's so un-Jedi.
Yeah.
You sneak up on him, shoot him. Like, what? At first I thought that was Buck, and I was like, dude, this dude doesn't even want no smoke on the battlefield. Like, why are you talking about shooting people?
No,
but,
Buck is back here. Buck is back here like, oh, no.
Yeah, that's a Buck face right there. That's definitely like in response to what they're saying, because he don't want no violence. But this dude, I don't know, man. Like, somebody better put him through some additional training sessions. If that's how you feel as a Jedi, you got some work to do, buddy.
Yeah. What's interesting for me is that they know that they're not all going to be masters. So they know that the Force is in different degrees. So depending on how strong they are, they'll end up in different places.
You think so? Like, you think they already know like their peak Jedi results when they're kids? Like, this is your ceiling. You'll never be above this or more powerful than this.
I think that they're aware that they're at different ability levels.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I always thought that anyone could ultimately be a master if you live long enough and practice hard enough. I never really thought like, oh, you're 5, but you'll never be a master. You know?
Yeah, no, because there are even some that are Force sensitive that they don't even bother taking because they're not strong enough.
Right. Well, it's all about the training and survival and, you know, being dedicated to the Jedi and the Force. But I don't know. I thought everyone at least had an opportunity to one day become a master if you did everything right over the years.
Yeah. Well, I got the feeling that they did it, that only certain ones knew they were going to be stronger. At least that's the feeling I got from the books.
It's interesting because they're not supposed to really want to be like have that urge to be better. So it's really interesting, especially at a young age. Like, I'm just supposed to be better, but I'm not supposed to really compare myself to other people
and have ambitions. Yeah.
Ambitions is a good word.
Yeah. And I mean, they're for sure at least all going to be Jedi Knights one day.
Yeah.
So put you on the master Force step.
That's true. That's true.
To be honest, I never gave it a lot of thought, Mike. That's a really interesting point. Like, are they pre-cast? I don't know. I would like to learn more about that.
Mm.
And then Yoda reveals it as just a short-range transponder that they can't really track it unless they're nearby. So they have to go out and get closer. And then it flips back to the Gaze Electric.
Really cool parallels going on. They're kind of both explaining to them about their friend.
I like
and
that
how
page.
Oh, that's right, because it's side by side.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I really
you see
like that
both.
page.
It's like simultaneous. Gaze Electric on the left. You can do a single page for that one.
You can tell that this storyline is going to be very dichotomous, like between Keen and Rat Boy,
Yeah.
whatever his name is.
Cricks.
Yeah.
It also
I like
kind of
Rat Boy.
reminds me of Lost Stars as well. You know, you've got one guy who's kind of firmly in one camp, somebody who's firmly in the other camp, and you know they're kind of parallel experience of the same thing that's happening.
Right.
In Lost Stars, yes. Are we going to get another follow-up to that book, do you think?
I wish we would. Every time Claudia Gray's asked, she doesn't seem to be that positive about it, but I would love a follow-up to that.
I think
I
she's
know.
busy. She's got a high
Yeah.
public stuff.
I know.
She is busy. So we're flipping back and forth. You know, you can see how they're being treated so differently. And I think it does go back to what Lakota said, how their induction into that society. So we see how with Marchion Ro, there's no love there. Contrasted to
what's kind of interesting though is to see like Crix gets in with the Nio, and it's like one wrong move and we're just going to throw you out of airlock. But he's sort of emerging in that environment, and I don't want to go as far as flourishing, but he definitely is learning how to play the game for himself at the expense of other people around him. But she's with the Jedi is struggling. They don't want to train her. She's just kind of sad.
Yeah.
You know, like she's not having as much success on her journey as he is in his thus far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a sink or swim thing. It's like sink or swim, and he's swimming.
Yeah, he's more of a survivor than she is.
And they really don't know what to do with her, really. I mean, what do we do with her? She was an orphan we saved, and she's got force powers, but we can't train her. Maybe they're just hoping some Jedi decides to just take her on and just keep her around. But even I was saying the very last line, they asked her, will you help us? And it's like, you're asking this child who's you're not training to come help you on missions. Like, this is just, normally this doesn't make sense. That's why you can tell this is a kid's aimed at kids book.
Right.
That is kind of really odd.
Yeah, like
but on the Gaze Electric, they're like forcing him to do things, and on the Starlight Beacon, they're asking her what she feels comfortable doing. Yeah. So it's different.
But really, like as far as however this plot unfolds in future issues, you know, I'm assuming they're going to have another confrontation, and she has no role. They're like, you got to come and save him, like to what Jonathan said. And it's like, what's she going to do there? She ain't fighting nobody. Maybe her force power, maybe could help at a pinch, like she did on her planet. But I don't know, man. You're just kind of dragging her into war.
Yeah. And that brings us to the end, because they're forcing him to do things, and he says, well, I'm going to try. And then they're asking her, well, what do you want to do? And she's like, I don't know. So very different.
Marchion just looks so menacing right there.
He does.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm curious
he looks huge as well. He looks absolutely massive. And I don't know his arms are like,
yeah,
literally, he could give the Hulk a run for his money.
Yeah, they're huge. They're like tree trunks.
Yeah.
Who is behind him? Like that's silhouetted out with the red eye.
That looks like a droid. Oh no, or it's a mask.
I don't know. I just noticed that, and it's kind of intriguing. Like it's way darker than every other character in the drawing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. And then this next issue, the artwork looks really different. Because this is that's Zine, right?
Yeah.
And look how she looks older there, and it's different. Because here's Zine in the panel looking like a little girl, almost like a 5-year-old. And then here she looks like a teenager.
She does look older, and she looks like she's doing some force stuff too with her hands there.
Yeah.
Has Cham not got any forearms?
Just these little bat wings. Here's the little fingers. See?
Cool.
So he's like a bat. Bats fly with their hands. So
Yeah.
this is his thumb, and those are the fingers. I'm assuming.
Yeah, makes sense. No, Zine definitely looks older in that episode, in that issue cover, whatever that may be.
And this is part 4, but it's issue number 4. Open here the covers, the 2 variant covers.
I guess, yeah, it's easier to have a gallery of your variant covers when you only have 2. If you have like 9, it'd be kind of cost more money, I guess.
Yeah. So what did you guys think?
I like that they're really setting up. This is where you see the future direction of Rat Boy. Because you read the rest, he really he embraces this, and it's actually pretty cool. It's kind of where he doesn't just sink, he swims. So yeah, so he does. Yeah, I really like it.
At the expense of everybody, even Elder Tromac, who rescued him and saved his life. He's like, you saved my life. Who cares? Let me throw you under the bus.
What a crappy.
But it also shows you how some of these people become villains. It's like they're not.
Yeah.
It's kind of circumstantial. Some of it has to do. So.
That's true. And I think this issue talks a lot about the circumstance, because it could have easily been the other way, because they didn't know any difference between the Nile and the Jedi.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. They're all strangers that showed up. So it just so happened that, because Zine could have ended up going with the Nile.
Yeah,
and then she could have been like Lorna Doone. And then it's not Lorna Doone, is that her name? Lorna D. Lorna Doone, those are the cookies, right? And those cookies look like the ones that Yoda had, the little square ones, the shortbread cookies.
Cookies. Right.
But it could have been switched like that, so it's because I could see that if she had ended up on the if Zine had ended up on the Gaze Electric, I think she also would have survived being pushed to the extent that Crix was pushed.
She would have been really attached to the Elder, but yeah, I think she would have. She
could have became like an Asajj Ventress or something.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. So yeah, it is the
circumstance. If Rat Boy was on Starlight, he would have seen that Jedi aren't so bad, Force users aren't so bad. So it could have changed his outlook too. I mean,
especially they have cookies. Yeah. And they have cookies. So.
Cool.
So,
yeah.
Anyone else has final thoughts on this?
I think it's going to be really interesting to see where Brat Boy goes. Does he go full on evil, nihil? I want to see him kitted out in, the kind of post-apocalyptic gear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Full on armor, weapons. I want to see him fully kitted out and then see whether or not he's got a redemption arc or whether he's going to go really bad and just be.
And he better be careful because they're that team over there is very. You can't really trust them. So it's not like you can build relationships with them. So he better be really careful.
The only way to go up is when there's an opening.
Right.
So how do you get an opening?
Or you make your own go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I thought it was I hesitate to call it filler, but it was a bridge episode or issue. A little character development building up to. I mean, ultimately, it looks like this homing beacon is going to lead them to some future clash. So I mean that's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But also on the topic of the homing beacon, they don't Yoda and the other Starlight Beacon inhabitants don't realize that Marchion Ro has already discovered it and knows. So they're thinking that, we're going to surprise attack. And yet the Nile already know and can expect it. And do you think maybe they can reverse engineer it to find where that homing beacon? Oh, yeah, because he says that they have the location of the Starlight Beacon now.
I don't think that's a secret. Really.
Yeah.
You also don't really need to.
Oh, that's true.
If you set a trap and let them come to you.
Yeah.
That's
what I do.
That's true.
Put on an abandoned ship or something, put out a distress call, they get on it.
Mm-hmm.
Seen that in Star Trek a million times.
And Battlestar Galactica too. So, yeah.
All right, guys. So next week we're gonna do issue 4. 2 weeks from now we're gonna do issue 4.
2 weeks from now.
Yeah. Can't wait to get into it. And soon we're gonna do the. We also have the transition. I think it's like after episode 4 or 5, where it transitions into new style art, and they have the free comic book giveaway, which is like a little mini issue. So that'll be a really cool transition for us. But yeah.
Yep.
Excited to get into that. All right, guys. Anything else?
Probably also be another thing that we can't get in the UK very easily.
Oh, you don't have the free comic book day?
No. No.
Mike, did you get that digitally or?
I did.
I don't know if they even
I
made
have
it digitally.
I have it.
IDW is just something that we don't get digitally over here anyway. It's all hard copy if you can get hold of it from your
I
local
wonder
comic
if
store.
those, because it's only a couple pages. I wonder if they're in that omnibus you got.
Hmm. That's
It's
very good.
they're at Valor during the attack.
What would I be looking for?
Valor. It's the only time these patterns are at Valor. It's right after immediately after Race to Crash Point is where they pick up Ram Bajama or whatever, Ram Barnabara.
Ramajam. It's Ramajam.
Cool. I'll have a look for it. I didn't see anything extra in here when I read through it this afternoon.
Because I'm sure it would be in the middle of that somewhere. So tiny.
I know, it's so cute.
It's a pocketbook.
It's a pocket. It is a pocketbook, to be fair, and it fit neatly in a handbag as well. Yeah, no, this doesn't have anything in the middle. It's literally just 1 through to 5.
Oh, it's 1 to 5. I thought that was 1 to 8.
No, 1 through to 5. This one.
Oh, so yeah, it's probably right after that then.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably where the art style changes and where that break is then. After 5. Cool. So in a month we'll get there. Anything else, guys?
No, that's all good.
Good for me.
Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend.
See you all in December.
See you later.
Bye, guys.